Have you given up on drawing before you even really began, convinced you just weren't good enough? The real problem isn't talent, it's a fear of failing that keeps you stuck. In this video I'll show you 4 simple steps to transform the way you draw in just 30 days, free, confident and without fear of mistakes. Instead of overwhelming yourself with endless practice, complicated techniques or rigid rules, you'll focus on just one simple exercise each week. 4 weeks, 4 steps, that's it. And the best part, you don't need expensive tools. All you need is a pen, a piece of paper, and definitely no eraser. Why no eraser? Because every time you erase, you are training yourself to doubt, to undo, to hide. But when you leave your line standing, you learn presence. Every mark becomes a trace of your seeing. Mistakes stop being mistakes. They turn into part of your expression. Of course, an eraser can be an artistic tool, but it should never stop you from trusting your lines and moving forward. Week 1. Contours. So let's begin with week 1. Draw only outlines. For the first 7 days, your only task is to draw contour lines, the marks that separate an object from its background. And here's a paradox, that line doesn't actually exist. From another angle it shifts, changes or disappears completely. But your drawing insists on creating a border. This belongs to the object, that belongs to the background. This is where drawing turns into a practice of seeing. You are not just copying shapes, you are training your perception. So for this week, keep it simple. Pick an everyday object around you, a cup, a plant, a bag, and draw only their outlines. No shading, no details, no corrections. And one more thing, draw from life, not from photos. And why? Because when you draw from life, your eyes are constantly translating 3 dimensions into 2. That's real perceptual training. A photo already does that flattening for you. It's a shortcut and it robs your eyes of the work they actually need. If you're thinking this is so simple, this isn't really art, let me show you the power of the simplicity. What matters isn't here perfection. It's learning to trust your hand and to see with fresh eyes. Contour lines are a fundamental building block on drawing. They give structure and describe the essential facts of form in the most direct way possible. If you only trace the outer edge, you end up with a silhouette, a flat paper cutout. But if you follow contour lines across a form, the drawing begins to show volume and feel 3-dimensional. Even great artists have relied on this simple approach. Think of Matisse, Picasso or Hockney. And if you're unsure or feel like you can't do this on your own, join me on Patreon. There I share daily drawing prompts, simple exercises you can follow step by step, so you are never stuck and always guided on your journey. The link is in the description. And if you feel completely blocked, you can also download my free drawing guide. It's designed to help you break free from hesitation and start drawing with ease again. Week 2. Shadows and transitions. Now let's move on the week 2, drawing shadows. For the next 7 days, focus on the next layer. Look for light and dark and how they shift into one another. Drawing gains its depth through light and shadow. Without them, forms remain flat and lack volume. Here's your task. Take a simple object around you, a cup, a plant, a bag, and divide them into areas of dark, medium and light. Keep it simple. Fill in the darkest areas, mark the middle tones, and let the light areas stay white. Place your objects in good light, so the contrasts are easy to see. Don't worry about details. Don't worry if the shapes look rough. Then practice letting the dark fade into the light. Most of what we see in real life isn't hard-edged. Faces, bodies, clothes, even round objects, all shifts gradually from shadow into light. This transition is what makes a drawing feel dimensional. There are many ways to do this. Parallel lines, cross-hatching, dots, loose circles. It doesn't matter which technique you choose. What matters is moving from dark to mid-tone to light, without a sudden break. Don't aim for smooth perfection. Each technique has its own rhythm, and that rhythm is part of your expression. By the end of this week, you won't just see a cup or a bag anymore, you'll see a rhythm of lights and dark, and you'll know how to let them flow into each other. That's the key to giving your drawings weight, volume and atmosphere. Week 3, negative space. Now let's move on to week 3. Draw the negative space. For the next 7 days, instead of drawing the object itself, you'll draw the space around it, the so-called negative space. Here's your task. Place a simple object in front of you, a chair, a pair of scissors, a plant, and resist the urge to draw the object directly. Instead, focus only on the shapes of the empty space around it. Trace those shapes carefully as if they themselves were the subject. At first, it may feel strange, but this practice is so powerful. It silences the voice that says, "I know what a chair looks like," and forces you to actually see. You stop drawing from memory and start drawing from perception. By the end of this week, you'll notice that your outlines are more precise, your proportions feel more natural, and your eye is sharper. Negative space drawing trains you to shift from object thinking to see relationships, and that is one of the strongest skills you can develop as an artist. Week 4, reflect and experiment. Now let's move on to week 4. This week is different. It's not about adding another technique, but about changing the way you look at your own drawings. Here's your task. Take one of your drawings from the last week, maybe even one you don't like. And well, I hope you didn't erase it, right? Look at it exactly as it is. Then take a new sheet of paper and use your own old drawing as a reference. Don't try to fix the old one. Let it stay as it is, and let it guide you into something new. Ask yourself, why do I think this drawing doesn't work? Is it because it doesn't look correct, like a photo, or is it something else? Now step away from the object and just look at the drawing itself, as lines, as shapes, or marks on the paper. What in this drawing, even if you dislike it at first, could be strong? A shadow, a rhythm, a bold line. Once you notice that, choose one element and push it further on your new sheet. Make a shadow darker, exaggerate a curve, add something unexpected. Don't correct, experiment, let the drawing flow into something else. This week is about freedom, about understanding that a drawing doesn't have to be right to be valuable. Sometimes a drawing you think is a failure holds a seed of your own style. By the end of this week, you'll have gone through all 4 steps: outlines, shadows, negative space, and reflection. And more importantly, you'll have learned not just how to draw, but how to trust your process. Confident, free, and unafraid of mistakes. So let's step back for a moment. In just 4 weeks, you've trained your perception, and that's the key. You've learned to let drawings evolve instead of erasing them. Because this process isn't about talent or perfection, it's about practice, freedom, and learning to trust yourself. And that's why artists throughout history have returned to these simple techniques to study, to explore, and to sharpen their perception over and over again. So as you finished week 4, remember, the goal isn't a perfect picture. The goal is a practice that makes you confident, present, and unafraid of mistakes, and helps you to discover your unique drawing style. And if perfectionism is still the voice holding you back, don't worry, that's exactly what I talk about in this video.